Let's go. Tonight. Oh, it's going down tonight, baby. Oh, hey, listen, it's going down tonight. I'm telling y'all right now, it's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. It's going down tonight. We have a very, very, very interesting conversation. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be one of the most powerful conversations that we had in a long time on the podcast. Because we're going to talk. We're going to talk. We're going to talk to our people. We're going to talk. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have a nice conversation because we got to get some things off our chest and we need to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? We need to have a conversation, so we're going to talk. So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you super loud. I can hear you. We're going to talk, and I'm telling you right now, if you want to tag a friend, to tag a friend, to tell a friend, because tonight, your mic is like super high pitched. Like every movement is super loud. I don't know if you could turn the mic down. I'm telling y'all right now, tell a friend to tell a friend because tonight, it's gonna be a great conversation, y'all. I'm telling y'all, hear it out, talk to somebody, tell a friend to tell a friend. Because what's about to happen tonight, people gonna want to see this. People gonna want to see. That being said, T, let's get started.
I met a boy today.
That's me.
So fine.
If you know, tap in, share the post. It's your boy PH, aka The Press, aka Mr. Above 140.
Come to my town and get with me. She love I'm around.
It's not about the amount of talent you have. It's 100% about the work ethic. Ask your coach or anybody that's been doing this.
I met a boy today. So fine.
Why is it? And they gonna say, oh, yeah, it's illegal. Cut this. Cut it out. All you coaches out there, cut it out. Because that's BS.
All right. It's your boy PH, aka The Prez, aka Mr. Above 140. Can you hear me, T? Can you hear me? I can't hear you, brother.
Yeah, hold on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Hold on.
Can you
hear me now?
Huh? I can hear you now. Talk. I can hear you now. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you talking, brother. You got to check your equipment.
You can hear me now?
Mm-hmm. You can hear me? It's your boy PH, The Prez, Mr. Above 140. And I'm here. Back for a second week. Talk to me.
What's good?
Everybody,
it's your boy, Coach Career, the General.
Yo, listen up, T.
What up?
Sad news. Sad news in America. Sad news. Bombs dropping. Nick Saban has retired. Nick Saban has retired.
Suddenly retired. Suddenly. No warning shots, no victory lap, no nothing. No final tour, no final goodbyes, nothing.
I know what happened.
Sounds fishy.
I'm from Alabama. I know what happened. I ain't from Alabama. My family from Alabama. I got the call, Tito. The administration, they was messing with Nick Saban. Listen, man, Let me explain something to you. A person of Nick Saban's stature is equivalent to Bill Belichick in the NFL. Bill Belichick has not left yet or got fired because of the respect he deserved for the work he put in. Of course, Patriots Nation want him gone, but you give that man time to decide how he wants to go out. Nick Saban would have earned that same respect. It wouldn't have been a random call on a random day, right? It wouldn't have been a random call on some random day of him just willy-nilly releasing, I'm never coming back again. You would have known ahead of time that Nick Saban wasn't coming back.
I mean, yeah, usually the great ones like him, especially we're talking about the all-time. I mean, he's got the most. He's got more than the Bears, seven-time national championship winner. No, that's what I'm saying. No victory lap, no farewell tour, no, dudes like that. They usually, when they know it's your last season, every place you go gives you your own type of goodbye. For him to do it the way he did it today out of nowhere, I think there's something more to the story.
Yes, something ain't right. Chris Santos, shout out to Big Blue. They made him retire. Come down.
Oh,
you know that they didn't do that. Michigan fans killing me. Nick Saban has lost many big games, some to unnamed coaches. No way he left because he lost this game. It was definitely.
Well, there was definitely some issues when you made me aware. When you made me aware they didn't have an offensive coordinator for the playoffs. And
right. For the playoffs.
There was definitely some underlying things that didn't make sense. Like, how do you go into the Final Four game with no offensive coordinator? So obviously there was some things going on. Obviously, they've kept it close to the hip because none of us, and we're into the college football world. Nobody saw this coming. I don't think nobody knew this was coming. I knew Harbaugh's they about to offer him a bag, but nobody was talking about Nick Saban just walking away out of nowhere like that. Still at the top of his game. Let's not get it confused.
Yeah,
he's still at the top of his game.
He's 4 plays away from winning the national championship.
He's still at the top of his game. 71, 72, whatever he is. He's definitely still at the top of his game.
So, watch this, Tito. I'm about to tell you how I know it was a problem, right? If I said to you, Sarkisian, what position did he hold? Prior to being a head coach, Steve Sarkisian.
He was a head coach at USC for a short term in Washington.
What did he do for Alabama?
He was offensive coordinator. So was Lane Kiffin. So was Brian Daboll.
Well, stop. Who called the offense in this year's playoff game? My point is exactly.
Yeah.
You have always known who Alabama OC was. It was never a secret. That name was as big as some other organization head coaches. And yet this year, Tito, we have no idea who was calling roll right on the final 4 plays to the short side of the field with a quarterback that clearly everybody in America could see that doesn't have the best accuracy. Who was calling these plays? I'm going to tell you what happened. Either the board of directors, the AD, or the administration in the college pissed Nick Saban off. And since he is who he is, he said, I don't got to take this. I'm out. And he quit. He filthy rich. I'm going to tell you what, the greatest college coach of all time. And so he walked out and left. And he owes nobody nothing. He don't owe Alabama nothing at all. So, we had to talk about that because the truth of the matter is, I'm just saying, it's a very, very heartfelt thing for Alabama Nation. We mourning. Michigan fans got jokes. I don't know why Florida State fans are making jokes. You guys got beat by 60 points. I don't care who didn't play. There was the same amount of players that stayed out the game on Georgia's side. You shouldn't get beat by 60 points. You guys got beat 67-3 or something crazy like that. You were not even one of the top 5, 6, or 7 best teams in the nation. Okay? I don't really want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I am always eating Joe, but it's fruit. All right? So Florida State fans, I do not want to hear y'all. But Tito, I have a real serious important conversation I want to have, though. So, Tito, my next point is about our inner city youth programs, their own worst enemy when it comes to the current football climate in New England, Tito. I'm going to let you talk first.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, based off experience, yeah, we're our own worst enemies. Most definitely, because nobody wants to see the next man win for whatever the reason that is. It's no longer about the competitive spirit. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on. There's a lot of cliquey stuff and people trying to shoot each other down. So yeah, I believe, we're our own worst enemy. Just look at what happened. Let's look at what happened this year. Let's look at a bunch of the incidents that happened this year. That wasn't manufactured by anybody else but people that look like me and you, people that we know. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like it's a lot more of it goes on where we're currently at than I can remember in my 20 prior years in another and we're playing under a different brand.
All right. I got a lot to say about this subject. It's touching, but I want to be insightful when I speak to everybody out there. Now, before I start, I'm going to ask.
I wouldn't even say it like that. I wouldn't even say it like that. Let's just. I wish I don't got the abort button. So I'm just warning everybody. I don't got the abort button. So just.
Before I start, I'm not preaching to minorities. That's not my goal here. I'm not speaking for all minorities when I say this, but let's have a real conversation in the cities, the bigger programs, the minorities throughout New England. For many, many, many years, Tito, there was no color on the New England Region Board.
We're talking about Pop Warner, correct?
Pop Warner.
Let's just be clear.
Tito, I want to say something right now, T. I'm gonna give you some perspective from my position, because now I might as well speak. You get a person like me who's the first minority black male that I know of. I know I'm wrong. Alvin used to sit on the regional board, but as a football commissioner, unappointed position. But the first minority male as one of the 5 major positions on the regional board in New England, Tito. Now follow me. And what we do, Tito, is we got guys in our region. And I told you that our problem in New England is not about league when you kept saying Pop Warner. It's about the people. And I'm about to give you a clear example. We got people in our region and as presidents, and I know all of this is factual. I don't care how nobody feel. This is facts here. That will on their Facebook page put up Black Lives Matter, Black people need to stick together, call Pop Warner racist, call presidents and staff members at the highest level racist. But the first Black man that had ever been on this board, they're privately in the background texting and calling those same people behind my back, trying to get me removed off the very board position that I am on, even though they've been in Pop Warner for 20 plus years and they never seen a face that looked like them there. You get one there, and what do, Tito? You try to tear him down. You try to make phone calls and say, hey, your person over here is putting his hands on people near our town. He needs to be removed off the board. Or you put your girl up to it when every time something come your way, y'all shoot shots at him, at the minority guy that's on the board. Let's get him off the board is what they want. Let's get him off. No. We're all about you guys are racist. The problem, T, and here's the problem, my brother, is that they have a problem because every time they got a problem, they got an issue, because they're Black, they think it's a Black issue, and that's not true. Because you got an issue, don't make it a Black issue. Because I got an issue, don't make it a Black issue. It means it's my issue. But when you want to whine and complain and you don't have any substance, you run to the black issue. And you blame everything on racism when it don't go your way. Everything gets blamed under the recap racism. So you shoot racism. Tito, let me ask you something. Why is it of all of these people that complained about racism and called people racist and called the presidents racist in New England, why haven't not one person called my phone, called the female black lady, because there's another Latina on the executive board, never called one of us one time, Tito, and said, hey, Phil, yo, there's some issues we've been dealing with as minorities in big city. I know you may understand because you're a minority and you're a big city. How about you and I sit down? I would like to put some stuff. How about me and you jog some ideas and maybe you can bring it back to your board to see how they take it. And then me and you reconvene and see how they took the information. See, now that comes to one or two problems, Tito. Either these people is bullshitting about being about black people. They're not really about black people. And it's a front and it's to hide behind something because you can't get your way. Or two, Tito, they do not understand how to affect change. And so since they don't understand how to affect change, their job is, I don't want a black face in there. I want the black face that I want in there. See, the thing about this change thing, Tito, and about us working together is, and I said this to you earlier, we always complain that the white teams don't want to play us. Truth of the matter is, Tito, the black team.
They don't want to play. They don't want to play.
That's what they don't understand.
Yeah,
I get phone calls.
Right.
The black teams don't want to play the black teams as much as the black teams think the white teams don't want to play them.
Yeah, no, it's a fact.
You guys don't want to play each other. And so why? Because the truth of the matter is, I understand why it's a lack of trust. I get the phone calls when so-and-so person call somebody and say, oh, well, y'all getting mad at me, but what about Phil? What about Hartford? What about Phil? What about Hartford? What about Phil? Now, why would they shoot at me, Tito? In situations and when stuff is being brought to a program or a league that has nothing to do with Hartford or Phil at all. Why would they mention Phil? You know why? Because the stature I hold to them by being on a regional board. Now, I'm going to say something, Tito. If I wasn't on a regional board, they would never mention my name. They just want me off. They don't actually want nobody that look like them on there. They're comfortable as long as knocking us down. They don't care who get there because they're not going to have say-so on the next person. Now, if you're next in line, Tito, at least I can say, I see what you're trying to do, Tito. You're trying to knock me out so you could take my position. These people have no shot at getting my position. So why would they want to knock me down? We can't work together.
No, we can't.
The minorities.
We can't. And it's not just in New England. It's locally too. Instead of people trying to compete and do it the righteous way, people want to click up and start, and I don't know, how do I say this without? As far as my experience with Pop Warner, we know everybody, it's very political. It's very, very political. And every last person has a voice, if that makes sense, one way or another. And there's a lot of politics involved. End of story. And the politics is never anybody else trying to take us down. It's each other trying to take us down.
So it leads to the overarching question. Are we our worst enemy? Yes.
Absolutely.
We make people not want to play us. And we said this before. Because when we play the others, and before I keep going, let me be clear. I'm already aware that there are predominantly white leagues in Pop Warner, and there's board members that consistently call and try to get me taken off the board as well. Not saying it's a minority issue only. But Tito, I expect them to. They're not used to seeing people like me on the board and what they perceive as above them. I don't. This thing means nothing. This regional thing, the people they associated with get big heads for having it. not me. It means nothing for me. I
I'll
don't
tell you that all the time.
with no regional board shirt on ever. Like really, unless I'm
You
told.
want to see a person. You want to see. You want to see a person's true colors. Watch them when they get a little bit of power in youth football. You want to see a person's true colors.
Right. And so, LJ, I'm going to get to your question in a second. That's a great question. Now, I expect those people to want me off. I expect a random cheer director who don't like me to want, or forget about me, to want the minority cheer director off, right? Because in her mind, she perceived her to be greater. I expect these things to happen. Let's set that aside. I can deal with that. I expect that. What we try not to expect, Tito, is those that succumb for that run around preaching minority. I did this and I did that, and we gotta support each other. We gotta help each other out, and then privately pick up the phone and go, "Hey, so and so, why is Phil there? Why do you have him there? He doesn't need to be there. He should be taken off. Do you know what he did? Do you know what they did? Do you know what his kids did? That's what they do." And so, you want to ask, well, let me get the LJ question. Do you think the mindset you guys are referencing is systematic? Of course.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
LJ, I want to say something to you. We're talking about people in their 40s,
50s,
and 50s,
60s.
LJ, you don't get a pass if you putting up memes about Black Power. You don't get a pass from me. If we want to claim ignorance to the youth, to the early teens, we can discuss that. The people that's our age, that's out here saying we're trying to uplift our people. You don't affect change by taking each other out. That's not how you do it. It may not be the person you want in there. And I don't claim to be the person that everybody want to be sitting on the board speaking for those issues, but I happen to be there. And if you would like an issue brought up, have a conversation. Instead of making private phone calls behind my back to get me out like I don't know, and I still say what's up to y'all when y'all see y'all, because I expect it from certain individuals. Tito, you know that. I expect it from these individuals because I know that they're frauds and there ain't nothing about them give a shit about Black people or the uplifting of us in this community. They can care about Black people. I don't know what they do in their communities. I don't want to take away everything, but I can tell you in this youth football community, it's not about racism, dog. That's not what it's about with a lot of these guys. Racism is what's thrown out there for protection, right? Because let's be honest, most white people got to buckle when you use that term. They could lose their jobs. They could lose their careers. They could lose their house. They can lose so much by you tagging them with that and going left with it and putting it all over social media. Tito, it's no difference if somebody deemed you to be against LGBTQ or against whatever the hottest topic is in the moment. There's no difference of you being against that stuff. So we know, since they sit at the top, just use this issue and we'll get out of it. I don't care how many Black people mad that I'm saying what I'm saying, because it's true, dog. It's true. And we do this, support Black business. We're going to talk about that because one of these people in y'all community.
Right, that's a whole nother thing. We talk about that. We try to support people, and it's always the people that you support. The first ones to do you dirty is the first ones you support. And it's always from our own people that wind up burning you, the ones you support or you help out or you put on or you give them game and you put them in position. Look how many cats I done try to put in position and look how that shit ended up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's to the point where I fell back from everybody and there's only a tight circle of cats that I talk to daily. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've never seen it's something that, like you said earlier, means absolutely nothing in the grand scope of things. Because in real life, me and you both are winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a volunteer thing we do. And a lot of the things, how cats move is just crazy to me. It's just crazy how cats move behind the scenes and the manipulation and the lack of competitive spirit to want to play cats and make up stories and it's it's beyond me where this community has went. And I told you before, when we tried to push this culture forward, we gave it a platform, and sometimes I wonder if what we did created division. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of harsh feelings towards us, and honestly, we've done nothing wrong to none of them. You get what I'm saying? We've done nothing wrong to any of them. And if you want to think about it, the only people that the slimy shit that happened to is us. You get what I'm saying?
So
it's us.
That makes a statement, right? I'm very much aware that the goal is to take me down. I'm very much aware it's that's the goal by those individuals that consistently make calls behind my back to take me out, right? I'm aware that that's their goal. I'm aware that it's the goal to those that let me see. I'm aware that it's the goal to those that I expect from said leagues to consistently spread conflict of interest. You know, stupid stuff like that. Like me taking notes at a meeting is a conflict of interest. Why? Because you can't take the notes? Because you can't sit in the meeting? What information or what thing is Hartford getting an advantage of? Beat us in the triangle or the rectangle, I mean. Beat us in the rectangle. That's easy, dog. You line up. We got beat this year. Beat us in the rectangle. No, Tito. See, that's not good enough. What we got to do is we need to take you out. We need to get you off the board. And once you're going, then what? What you going to do? Clap behind the scenes? Oh, yo, look, what? Pop bottles and say, look what we did to him?
Well,
You're
especially
taking me off of something that I spend money doing.
Especially when you're in a situation, we're all in a situation where in that last situation, like we was currently in, all the minorities need each other, but instead, they just getting rid of folks. So the more folks you get rid of, what do you think you're going to be left with, and who do you think you're going to play?
It doesn't matter, Tito. It's the crab in the bucket mentality.
Right. No, but I'm just
everybody down without thinking how exactly I'm going to get up if everybody continue this cycle. And so that's what we have going on in youth football in New England amongst the largest cities. We don't want to play each other. We say we do because it's cool. You got to be tough. You got to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Not around me. You don't got to be tough around me. You don't got to be no thug. You don't got to be tough. You don't got to carry no guns around me. I got all good energy. Everything around me is good energy. I don't got time for none of that. Y'all see what I'm rocking? I'm out here really hoping that this could be a possibility. I don't need no negative energy around me. So you don't have to be tough around me.
It's no longer what's the sadder part. It's no longer about trying to beat cats on the field. It's trying to find ways to get rid of cats so you don't got to play them. That's the truth of the matter. Like, that's the truth of the matter in certain situations. People is trying to rid folks so they get out the way, so they could meet whatever it is their motive is. They trying to get cats out the way. I've never seen that until I joined the other side in Pop Warner. I've never seen that, where it's not about trying to do it on the field. It's about, yo, you know what? These cats is a threat. Let me figure out how to get them up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've seen go on.
I told you this last time. It's not the league.
It's the people. It's the people. It's the people. It's the
because
people.
if we uprooted the word Pop Warner and dropped UYF or AYF or INC or
I agree. I agree.
Those people would act the same.
I agree to an extent. I agree to an extent. Pop Warner, any last person can get, it seems like can get to a conversation of meaning, where with the other leagues, there's more of a chain of command. In Pop Warner, everybody has access to get to the, well, when they want, to the national office or to the who they need to get to, the RD or whoever. Other leagues, it ain't that easy to get to those people. But here, the political system is very hands-on. You know, it's too easy to get to the top. There's no layers to it. You get what I'm saying?
So I ask you, Tito, we presented a problem. I like to be solution-oriented, solution-based. What's the solution? Is there a solution?
I don't know. I wish I would say there was a way that this all to work out, but there's way too much division. There's real bad feelings amongst certain folks. And I don't know where it goes from here. I'm gonna be honest.
I want to apologize to everyone.
We got to see how a lot of the chips fall in the offseason. There's gonna be some movement in the offseason. I mean, we got to see. I don't know where it goes from here.
I want to apologize, Tito, and I'm gonna apologize to everybody out there, because when I called for a meeting and we ended up having that meeting, Tito, way back when we had that meeting at PAL, the purpose of the meeting got skewed from what I originally stated on that podcast that time. It was about this issue. When we got into that room, Tito, all we talked about is what we want. We never discussed what exactly did we need, right? I want to be able to play crossover games. I want to see less racism.
In fairness, some crossover games happen.
But that's a want. But that's a want.
Right. No, but I'm saying
I never said the meeting wasn't successful. Yeah. I said I apologize for not keeping the meeting on the topic, which was this topic. This is what started that meeting. Yeah. This discussion is what started us, and how do we do what that little young man said on that video, right? Because separate, we're killing each other. We're killing. Listen, we know the Boston League. What's the Boston League going to look like? If some of those teams go AYF, we know the Rumblers. I mean, let's just say it. What is it going to look like? Can't play everybody 4 or 5 times, Tito. If you do, that's not a league. Nobody's going to be happy. And if everybody go, no, you guys stay over there. No, you stay over there. What do we eventually look like? And then we ask each other, yo, Tito, please, I need a game. Why should I play you when you just made phone calls to try to tear me down? And if I don't do it, then they say, oh, man, you harboring feelings. It ain't that serious. You don't get to decide what's serious in my life when you're making phone calls to try to tear me down. I decide what's serious in my life. You don't get to have that type of say-so over the situation. You get to react the way you want to react. I get to acknowledge the reaction, be knowledgeable about what y'all doing, and then I play how I play. Sometimes I never even let you know I know what you did or I feel how you feel. What up, man? How you doing, bro? Easy. Take it easy. You'll never know. Or what's up, miss? How you doing? You'll never know. I don't have to show you. I'm trying to be less, if I am, to be of an emotional man. Just good energy. You know, no bad energy, please. No bad energy. Just all good energy, all good vibes. You know what? If you here, stay over here. I'm good, man. You can stay over there. Because what happens is we have to figure out. Here's what I think the resolution is. I'm going to get to my point. I think the inner cities need to come together and figure out a way to form a league, the same levels, in a schedule that's conducive for them. I do not think that's going to happen as long as we got 2 programs in each city. Though I think we can have it separately, like on the AYF and the Pop Warner side separately. All of the AYF cities and all of the Pop Warner cities, even without crossover.
You said it. You touched on it earlier. Some of us don't want to play. You get what I'm saying? It's just.
I said, you asked me what.
Then it becomes okay. Then it becomes this, because we see this all the time. Who's in charge? Who's on the e-board? Who? Everybody fighting over crumbs when none of that shit matters. I'm a boss in real life. I don't care about titles. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about titles. And that's always the first thing that creates the division amongst us. And that's why I said I'm at the point. I ain't all for the supporting each other shit. I'm not, because it never works out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not all for us versus them. Nah, man. I mean, the way what was been shown to me, and I only could go on how I see people move, is everybody needs to do their own thing and concentrate on what they're doing, stay in your lane, and just leave niggas alone. You know what I'm saying? If the schedule permits that y'all play each other, you play each other, respect the schedule, do what you got to do, just leave it at that, because the kumbaya shit has yet to work. Has yet to work. Because of these side conversations.
You might be on something about that. I'm gonna be honest. It's sad, but you might be
No.
on something to say.
There's
you
no
know
other
what,
way
y'all?
to do it
Just
because
go your own way.
the biggest
Don't
mistake,
try to act like we
the biggest, we talk about it all the time. The biggest mistake that me and you both, we give people like we think that everybody walks with the same moral compass or the same rules that we live by. We know not everybody's playing by the same rules or that they honor the same things that we value.
Facts. That's true.
They don't honor the same things we value. They don't serve the codes that what we think is sturdy or whatever. And you know, they may have things that they feel we don't. So my thing is, bro, we ain't gotta be cool. Just keep it moving when you see me, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And
That's it. Respect the schedule. If I gotta play you, we gotta play you. Just keep it at that. Keep it about football. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to talk business. We don't need to know how your week went last week. I don't need to know how you played and what you did in concessions. We don't need to do none of that. Just play the goddamn game and let's keep it moving.
The sad part about that is when you have the other side, the small towns, the predominantly non-minority
Yo,
towns.
I can't even blame the small towns because
No. Hear me out. I'm not blaming them.
It be us. It don't even be them. It don't even be them.
Allow me to say what I'm gonna say. I'm not blaming them. When you have them coming together as we huddle in our corners, what I'm saying is it puts us more on the island. I agree with what you're saying. I agree 100% that might be what we need to do, at least to just keep everybody safe, because it seemed like something's going to happen with all of the bickering and the chatter and all of that. And there may be not nothing major, but even a fight is too much, right? And so
too much. Dust up. All of it.
It's sad that we are doing this, they doing this, we're going to do this, and they're going to do this. And they're going to have a bigger network than us. Now, what does that constitute that look like for our youth versus theirs? In the inner city, we're going to have less resources, they're going to have more. We're going to have less opportunities, they're going to have more opportunities. We're going to have less funding, they're going to have more funding. We're going to have less of an opportunity to have big venue, big item things. They're going to have more. Why? Because they're going to have more financial viability, because the more people you have, the more funding in the pot, the better. Better cheer competitions, better football championships, possibly even better location for football championships locally. I don't care about nationally. Do whatever you want when you go to your nationals. All of those things, by doing what you're saying, I'm not saying that you're wrong. Us in the inner city,
we're going to lose out.
We're going to lose out. Our youth is going to lose out.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest. This ain't going to be popular. We deserve everything we get. We deserve it.
Well,
because
no,
we can't even do.
I don't blame nobody.
We can't even do the most fundamental shit. We can't do the most fundamental basic things to move the culture forward. We can't do it.
Carlton said, "Big bank takes little bank." Exactly.
Right.
That's what ended up happening.
But that's where we're at. That's not what's happening. That's where we're at. You know, we're hanging on by a thread. Inner city football in New England, especially in Pop Warner, is hanging on by a thread. You know, AYF may acquire everybody by default, or UIF, whoever, because in Pop Warner, the inner city stuff is seriously a problem. Where on the other side, I don't know if it's that much of a problem. Them cats mess with each other to a point. They'll at least play each other. You know what I'm saying?
Do they? Do you not have people holding out?
I haven't been there in 2 years. I don't want to speak, without knowing. But I mean, well, maybe because I haven't been over there. I don't hear, the rumblings like I hear the rumblings on the other side. And, my phone rings all day like yours of people calling me.
I remember Daryl
advice or whatever.
Now, recently that he played, 4 games a season?
Who was that?
Daryl Sebastian.
Did he? I don't ask him. He's like, see if he's on, ask him.
I know that he complained about multiple years. Now look,
we talked to Rodney Myers or one of them. Rodney, if you on, did everybody get a complete schedule?
No.
Put it in the chat.
You got a schedule or not is irrelevant. Did everybody show up to play you?
Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Gene Miller said you can't blame the coaches. If the presidents of the organization stood on business, it wouldn't be like that. That's completely false.
That's false.
Gene, that's false, Gene. Coaches got more of a say-so and more impact than you know. Coaches got more of a say-so and more impact than you know. 1,000% that's not true. They got more of a say-so and more impact than you know. Coaches are usually the first ones to get information, not presidents and not those at the higher up on the boards. Let's be honest. Because they got their feet on the ground and they ear to the ground and they in the mix. Coaches usually find out stuff before presidents. I usually find out stuff before probably the region board.
I just think, like I said,
I'm on the local board. And then from there, I'm in an association. That's another resource I think people don't utilize enough. If you think that the region is out of touch or nationals is out of touch, don't shoot at the top. What are you doing when you try to shoot at the clouds, bro? Your bullets don't go reach. So what are you supposed to do? You start with somebody like myself that's on the board, and you feed information where I can feed it to the next layer, and they can feed it to national, even on the other side of AYF or UYFL. That's how you get information to the top. Unfortunately, Tito, we know the Galat family. They're not of origin like you and I.
Right.
We know we met the UIFL owners. They're not of the origin of you and I.
But they have more of our people involved at the top.
Say what you want to say. Yeah. Say you want to say they hired more. If it makes you feel better, cool. But I'm talking about the people at the top. We know John Butler and Tim Glazer. They're not of our origin. Let's be honest. All of these leagues are not ran by people that look like you and I.
Maybe battle. I mean, maybe YNC.
Maybe YNC. I don't know, but they're not a league.
I don't know enough about it either.
That's not a national league. That's a cherry pick league. I would like you to play. I would like you to play. I would like you to play. And so my point to pointing that out is nobody should get a pass. Everybody should be held to the standard. And if you want to see more people like us because y'all feel the leagues aren't representing our interests, don't shoot those that's in there. Figure out how to do what we're talking about that Tito don't believe you can do.
Well, here's the problem. Because I know how we think. Oh, Phil got in. Now you become a threat to me. So you know what? I got to be that dude. So I got to get you up out of there. Like, this is how it goes.
So let me ask you something, Tito. Why you don't want to get the other people out of there? That just because they're not of your same race?
It's always going to be us first. It's like that even the way we grew up. Think about it. Bro, I've never had problem. The people that brought the most harm to me are people that look exactly and identify the same origin as I do. Do you understand what I'm saying? The people that have tried to hurt me the most ain't been, my brothers. It's been my own people, bro. You get what I'm saying? That's just the way we're programmed, and it is systematic to a point. It is systematic to a point, and I don't think it'll change because there's a couple parts to it. Don't assume that everybody, number one, has a level of intellectualness to understand what you're talking about. We hold people to these standards. They do. I told you this yesterday. We often make the mistake that cats is standing on what me and you standing on. It's not the case. It's not the case.
Carlton says some corporate interests are going to step in and take over if y'all don't take charge. Possibly, or they'll leave us to just kill ourselves off.
Right, like they always do.
Springfield players go to Connecticut to put in work with different coaches. Y'all got some good stuff going on. I think from the outside looking in, I think is probably more appealing than being here, which we're thankful for what we got. We're not ungrateful, but it's some tough situations going on here. Not over here. If Wayne tells us to do something and what we doing. I guess it's different everywhere. Gene, that's not what we're saying. Obviously, if I say the Hurricanes is going to play this game, we play that game.
Yeah, this ain't a chain of command issue.
We're not talking about.
We're talking holistically, Gene. We're talking how we can't come together. The organizations can't come together for the greater good.
Organization, coaches,
right? The greater good.
Boards
to push the culture forward. To push the culture forward. We can't push. We can't. We tried to push when we created this platform and created the New England Youth Football Forum. We were trying to push the culture forward. Instead, what this has happened, just look even to our situations here. It has created divisions and it's made, to a point, both of us targets. You know what I mean?
Since this group got formed, we have about 2 or 3 spinoff groups from this group. And it's basically anti-New England Youth Football field team groups. Like, right? Like, we're not in those groups. I'm like 90% sure I see my name pop up in the group every now and then. Somebody will show me a text of somebody saying my name
like
in the
I told
group.
you,
And
bro,
so
we also
there's
know.
spin-off groups from that. And for the record, going forward, I'm good. If you around somebody that's talking about me and you happen to be present, you keep the information. I'm gonna be honest, I don't need my energy thrown off by it. So from now on, just keep the information, man. Hold it to yourself, because the people I rock with, you're not gonna be able to say that in front of. And the people I don't rock with,
they ain't rock with you anyway.
Or people that's on that rocking chair, and it might go either way. If they present and they don't check you, then either way, I no longer want to know about it, because my people's not gonna let you say certain stuff about me around them. I know that they won't. I know I certain people who you can't say certain stuff about me around them. And so those people are the only people I want to hear information from. From the masses of people going, yo, so-and-so said something. I was sitting right there when he said it. For now on, my question is going to be what did you do? That's what I'm going to ask for now on. Don't bring it to me, because that's what's messing up energy, right? Serving people up on a platter and sitting back and watching the two crabs fight. We that's one thing we got to get off. And so if I'm doing it, I'm going to stop as well. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't serve no purpose by doing that. We don't serve no purpose. All we do is the he said, she said, and it festers out of control. It festers out of control, dog. And we don't accomplish anything when I'm walking around thinking you said something, and you walking around thinking he says something, and he's walking around thinking he says something. All of y'all out there think it's fear when somebody say they don't want to play you. I don't know what y'all about, and everybody got this new slogan, I stand on business. I'm not playing you if I don't F with you, if I don't have to. I don't care if you call me scared. I'm not emotionally attached to what y'all say on social media. So calling me scared don't make me scared. Calling me scared don't make me feel inferior. It don't make me mad. It just lets me know that I'm that dude, that the Hartford Hurricanes remains that program, that we're valuable, that we mean something in the culture because you continually wants to play. But what I'm not going to do is, if I'm not forced to, I'm not playing nobody I don't F with. Now, every time we have not aligned up, me and some programs, it ain't because I don't F with y'all. It hasn't aligned up. But sometimes I don't mess with them, so I don't want to have no dealings with them. And that's okay. Like Gene said, Wayne get to make a decision. Well, Phil's making decisions. What's best for me and our program. And yes, it's not just what's best for the program. It's best for me and the program. Because when you run in these programs, Tito, unfortunately, there's a lot of emotional, mental drain and that comes from it, right? And you can lose good people by being emotionally and mentally drained from these programs. I'll let you speak.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we're like I told you, I'm done trying to mend it. I'm gonna play my position, and all I could do is do the best I can to help push my program forward and do what's best for my program. As far as trying to mend some of these relationships and try to the greater good, nah, I'm past that with cats. Like, we are no longer on those terms. So just leave me alone. Act like we've never met. I'll leave you alone, and there's nothing to discuss. I'm moving forward.
With that being said, I'm going to say this to everybody out there. New England youth football, holistically, no league. I'm not talking about leagues right now. I'm talking about culture, just culture. We have a lot of we got some problems, y'all. And no, we always gonna have youth that want to play football. That's the beauty about it. We got some talented coaches. We got some talented kids. We got some great minds in youth football. We got some great people people I know personally that genuinely care about kids. That's on some boards. We have all of the good stuff, but we also have the negative stuff that's tearing us down, right? And so, yeah, we got people on the outskirts that want to tear us down, and we expect that. We expect to be isolated from certain stuff. But when you're isolated and all of us standing in the middle and we all go off into our corner, you find yourself very lonely. And I guess we could hope is that that we don't all go off in our corner too far and that we can't find our way back, because at the end, we're talking thousands of youth that can be affected. I know it's thousands because Tito, I got 260 plus myself.
We had 8 football teams last year.
So it could be a very scary place if there's no place for these kids to play valuable games. Obviously, we'll all find ourselves in a 3-team league and a 5-team league, 4-team league. Your kids aren't getting valuable experiences from that. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, I go back to advocating a Hartford league, playing all in the city of Hartford, all the kids playing right home, playing at Dillon Stadium Championship, and we go home in November.
Sometimes I wonder, I know it's a different conversation, but sometimes I wonder if things were better off when it was like that, when Manchester had their in-house league, West Hartford had their in-house league, Hartford had their in-house league, Farmington Valley up there, up the mountain, up 44 over there had their own in-house league.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like sometimes I wonder, when you think about when we came into this thing plus 20 years ago, it was a much more peaceful place.
It definitely, yeah, you're right.
It was a much more peaceful place.
10
10 years ago, this was a much more peaceful place. 10 years ago, it was a much more peaceful place.
Not long ago.
Right.
Not long ago. But, you know, it's sad we hear, but look,
Cats seem to forget that me and you met in our early 20s, and we was both head of programs. We wasn't just cats in these rooms. We was in our early 20s trying to make decisions for hundreds of people with really not knowing how to do it. And we kind of had each other and figured out how to bounce ideas off each other and move how we moved over the next 23 years. And a lot of cats that came here and thought they was going to knock us off are all gone, and we're still here. And they still coming for us in 2024. You know, I just had to do the Diddy Bop on everybody in 2023. I mean, like, you know, cats are still coming for us.
I don't get it though, because, you know, you start if you're out there starting a program just to outdo Phil, you're not going to be successful, because your intention
doesn't work like that.
You're not doing it even for the right reason. There's you know how many spin-off Hartford Hurricane, like it's not going to work, because you're not genuine. The people in the Hurricane see it's genuine. They see the dollars being spent. Tito, they see $40,000 being spent on our banquet. They know where their dollars is going. I'm putting on for the city, for the kids. Me, Condra, Anne-Marie, Tiff, Crystal at Cheer. We are doing stuff different than everybody. And you know what? It works for us. We don't require anybody to do that. But chasing after doing something to outdo somebody else means you don't even care about your craft. Tito, if you drive trucks and you just bought a 2020 truck, and I decide I'm gonna go buy a 2021 truck because I want to outdo Tito. I don't even want to be a truck driver. I don't even want to be in the trucking business. I just want to outdo you. But guess what, Tito? You grinding. You in that truck like it's the block every day, banging and banging and banging. I'm not gonna be able to knock you off your dean, because the truth of the matter is, you're doing it because you believe in it, because it's pumping success. I'm doing it to attack you. I can't outwork you at something you want to do.
Okay.
Because I don't really want to do what you want to do. I'm just doing it.
That shit never works. Everything built on bad principles never works. How many
so
you've seen?
Carlton Jones said, I'm a product of New England football and wear it with pride. Truth. Darity said, what's stopping Orange from going independent and playing whoever you want to play? Darity again. People don't want to play each other. The minority teams don't want to play each other. They say they do. They say they do. And I'm not talking about fear. They just don't F with each other. So they really don't want to be around each other. They don't want to play. Like Tito said, if it ain't on the schedule, dudes really want no parts of dudes. Because dudes really don't care. It's like, it's too. And look, I'm going to be honest. I get it. I get it. Now, look, I'm okay with having a nice shot in the back of my. I recognize what God, the platform he gave me. I recognize the program he gave me, the resources he gave the program, and the platform he's given me. Don't nobody help the Hartford Hurricanes raise money, Tito. Don't nobody offer the Hartford Hurricanes helmets. I do ask, but don't nobody offer. Don't nobody give us jerseys. Don't nobody help us with fundraisers. Don't nobody give us fundraising ideas. Don't nobody call me and give me a plug to nowhere. because they think we already got it. And that's cool, because the truth of the matter is God did bless this group in Hartford to be able to support so many youth with some wonderful, wonderful experiences. 10 years running, giving kids experiences in Florida, Tito.
15 years. I keep telling you. 15 years.
10 years, not 15. 10 over 10 years of going to Florida, I said. 10 years of Florida. 2012, right?
Yeah.
Over 10 years of going to Florida, consistently spending over $40,000 to $50,000 a year, and we still here. We got an $8,000 sled for our youth. We got every piece of training equipment you could ever think, over $20,000 worth of training equipment. This is what the youth got. So I recognize, I said the youth got, not me. So don't do it. Oh, he's bragging. I don't care. If you're emotional about it, be emotional. It's what we got. Right? Lineman shoes. I talked to you about it, Tito. I said it don't even get used. And you was like, oh man, you lucky I don't got it. Lineman shoes, Tito. All the training equipment to do spring training and get your quarterback, running back, tailback, lineman, everything right. We got lineman strips, guard, center, tackle, all of the top. We got better equipment than our high schools. Better sleds than our high schools. I get why people don't help. So God had put me in position to help. There is people out there that can tell y'all I help them. Provide
absolutely,
them,
and I mean he ain't gonna say it.
The shoulder pads, and
he ain't gonna say it
all throughout New England, and I don't even post it.
He ain't gonna say it, but he does. He has his team that helps him do certain things, but he's doing all the bag chasing himself, and it ain't like how you guys think. There's a lot of paperwork and process that goes into what he's doing, and he's managing to do it. But instead of giving him his flowers and bigging him up, how he keeps his program in top tier condition with very limited resources, the matrix is going to come for you. That's just how it is. That's why, we could try to talk all the kumbaya stuff, but it is what it is. Cats don't want to see the next cat come up, and they definitely don't want to see the next program thrive. Instead of watching the next program thrive, you want to shoot them down. We see it everywhere. You see it all the time.
The last thing I'll say before we move on, I want everybody out there to know
this. Especially if it's a rival program. That's where I'm going to leave it.
I'm going to say this. Someone else's successes doesn't hinder or take away from your success.
Facts.
If New Britain produces 9 or 12 teams next year, and I produce 8, which is one more than I had this year, not that I want 8, I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure because New Britain is more successful. That's what we got to get out of our mind. Our culture from little teaches us that. Competitive nature. This is a competitive nature. Our environment.
But there's a competitive spirit.
Our environment.
Right, but there's a competitive spirit and there's a competitive nature that there's rules to being, not rules, but there used to be ethics to this sort of thing. And there's no longer, right, there's no longer ethics to this sort of thing. There's no longer.
My mother used to
go. It's no longer about the
battle. Groceries.
Right. It's no longer about the battle. It's no longer, people don't want the battles. If they know they got a battle, let me find a way how I'm going to get rid of this dude and go play somebody else. Like that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's the state of where we're at. And anybody says it's different, I'm calling bullshit.
The desire to go to hot weather in December has been the biggest. It has been the biggest knife that everybody has used to stab each other in the back. Let me say that. The Pop Warner National Championship has been the biggest knife that everybody hold like this with an opportunity, Tito. Let me tell you, Tito, I've been cheated before. The times that I've been cheated before, Tito, you never seen a Hartford Hurricane coach say nothing. Never seen me post about it. Tito, I asked you earlier about a situation that happened to me in which somebody cheated me. You didn't even know.
Nah, nobody talked about it.
So, Tito, don't let it be Phil who they think have cheated. It would be on social media, all in your windows and the posts, and it'll be on certain blogs and like, right, like, because it's cool to tear that guy down. The masses want to see him tear down. People want to see people that they listen. I'm not in position of power. Like, that's the crazy part. I just run a program, dog. I just run a program like y'all. That's it. But they want to see me get tore down and what they perceive is to be down. And in their mind, me just running the Hurricanes is down. Tito, I'm up if I'm just running the Hurricanes. You crazy? You mean to tell me y'all put together this elaborate board, put me in a great league where we got great games, where there's big city football, hundreds of people going to be on both sides, and I can go back to just doing the Hurricanes only, and y'all perceive that to be down? Y'all foolish. Y'all ain't been in enough league boards. Y'all ain't been in enough league meetings to think that's down. What's being down is being responsible for your league. What's being down is being responsible for scheduling, taking responsibility for things that you don't even have control over, but you sit back and you eat it because that is the name of the game. That's being down. When you come home and you can't even lay down because you worry about how your championship game's going to go. If this team going to fight that team and if it's going to look bad on you as a president. That's what's being down. What's being down is not only worried about the Hurricanes. That's easy. You kidding me? You know how much time I have? You know what I'll be doing? Dude, do you know I worked some regional games from leaving my house at 6 a.m., Tito? Tonight, I ain't never submitted. I submitted one receipt ever, Tito, being in Southern and being in the region. They have never paid for me to go to Nationals, Tito, and it's in their memos for them to pay for me. It was in the Southern bylaws, Tito. I was the vice president and secretary. It was in their bylaws to pay for me. I believe it's in regional bylaws to pay for the regional secretary. Not one of them gave me $1 to go down to Nationals. That shit came out of my pocket. And so people believe that bring down is only running your program. No, you up. Trust me, y'all out there. Y'all think y'all want to be on these boards? Yeah, y'all think because y'all want access to information. Y'all don't want to do no work, though. This is not easy. In the offseason, in this meeting that I had tonight, when people go, hey, what teams are you bringing back into this league? What new teams are you bringing us? How do y'all answer that? Because you can't go home and just go to sleep and chill until July. No, you got to go out there. You got to make some phone calls. You got to find a new avenue to convince people this is where it's at. That's not easy. But people don't want to do that. They want to tear it down. Get Phil out of there. Once he out, yo, Phil, how do we do this? Anybody that's willing to step up and run anything, feel free. Listen, there's leagues at every level that need help. There's something you can do for regionals. Help. I don't know what it is. I don't make the calls at regional, but I'm sure there's stuff you can do. There's phone calls that can be made. There's driving to do things. You want to help? Try to help. But don't do it and then look for money, because a lot of the stuff we do come at a financial loss. A lot of the stuff we do, Tito, come at a financial loss, dog. I volunteered for National Pop Warner on the first Friday. Tito, National Pop Warner or regionals didn't give me $1. I volunteered out my own heart. They didn't pay for my rent-a-car nor my room. I got a call from the RD. Says me and the RD friends, I did what she asked me to do. No problem. She wasn't going to be there. No problem. I'll step up. We friends. I'll be there for you. That's what happened. People not willing to do that. They just want the title. They just want the name. I ain't post, I'm going to be a volunteer at National Pop Warner. I didn't post that. Nobody knew. Nobody seen it. Helping my teams check in, being there for Waterbury, being there for West Elmwood. Nobody see that work. It seemed glorified because you're on the regional board. What do y'all think I'm doing? I'm taking notes and sending off notes. Other than that, I'm out. I sit in a meeting. I don't say a word. I type. I hit save and I send it off. And y'all lust and make phone calls to get me off of that. Let's move on, T.
Yeah, let's move on, man.
So, all right, Tito. Oh, all right, hold on. We may have to cut down some of the stuff we was talking about.
I only think there's one more topic. There's two more topics. There's one more topic. Two more topics.
All right. So I had a discussion on another board, Tito, and the question was, should national leagues be able to come into local programming Audit them, tell them local, not regional. Tell them what to do with their funds, look at their books and request their stuff. What say you?
I never heard of that because usually all that stuff is non-inclusive. Nobody could tell you how to run your program or orchestrate your program. I mean, that's under how we've been doing it for the last 25 years. I could see certain leagues trying to do that. I could see certain people trying to do that, putting the power all in their hands, and then you really have chaos. But I can see certain people entertaining that idea.
I say people are 1,000% foolish if you want that.
Right.
You're 1,000% foolish if you want national programs to be able to come in and look and tell you what to do. I'm gonna tell you why, Tito. Pop Warner don't know what the Hartford Hurricanes community is like. They don't know what the Hartford Hurricane businesses is like. They don't know the needs of the kids in my community. They don't know what my kids desire when we're at a banquet. So I'm going to spend upwards to $30,000+ on my banquet. And you're telling me that National Pop Warner should be able to come in and go, no, Phil. You're spending way too much money on the banquet. We need to downgrade. That's foolish to me. It's foolish that people act, and this was an argument. I had people actually, a dude from Rhode Island, I don't even know, a little corny dude. He was up there talking crazy. He got emotional because I didn't agree with him. I don't understand. Don't debate me if you're gonna get emotional when I don't agree. We're not here to agree. But the dude felt like these are not your programs and they belong to the National League. No, they don't. You go down to the Secretary of State and create your LLC. You pay out of your pocket most times to get it started. You did it before, Tito.
Yeah.
You did it twice. You even got East Hartford charter.
No, but I mean, here's the thing. Especially if I'm personally funding the program, nobody's ever going to come in and tell me what to do. Like, that's just the bottom line.
Jones, we're not talking about whether you got to open up your books for people to see. We're talking about them looking at you, opening up your books, and then trying to tell you what you should be doing and if you're doing right or wrong. To me, look at my books. I don't really care what you think about it. Look at it. But I don't give a damn what you think about it. That's my point. You do not get a right to tell me what I should and shouldn't spend money on. No. You do not give me a right to tell me I shouldn't buy the $50 pack of hamburgers, that I should buy the $10 pack of hamburgers when I decide I want to sell food at my game. You can't tell me, you will save money if you go to BJ's. You need to go to BJ's and not go to C-Town. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And these guys felt like, look, I told them, if people are spending money in your program and robbing your kids and your kids don't have something, then that should be a programmatic issue. That's in the local board. Vote out your local board.
Local authorities. And deal get them audited. I mean, there's 1,000 things. If they are registered claiming to be nonprofit 501c3.
But even nonprofits to pay salaries, people got to understand what we're talking about. You don't know how the articles of incorporation is structured.
Right. They don't know how they rolled it up. But see, that's the part of the game. That's the part of the game a lot of these cats don't understand and think that this thing is so easy to do. They don't even understand. Remember, I put you onto that years ago, how you could write yourself in and told you was crazy for not doing it.
Years ago.
Because I learned it. Somebody put me on. OG put me on. Because I've always said, if you are really putting your all behind the program and you're giving it a bunch of time, more time than you're probably giving your job, you need to be compensated for that.
Tito, I'm going to just say, look all these fake-ass trainers popping out.
Yeah.
Everybody who coaches you football is a trainer.
He's a trainer now. This is a trainer.
And look, hustle. They're getting money. No, think about this. Nobody got a problem with giving somebody money, getting a service, and not giving a shit what that trainer does. But you got a problem with giving Tito money to play football, getting your football season, and then you have to worry about what Tito did with your money. I provided you with what you asked for. You played the football season. Now you skedaddle while I spend the money the way I feel like I'm going to spend the money because I provided you what you wanted. You got a football season. You had jerseys. You had practice every day. When it was dark, you had practice under lights. When you needed a sled, you had one. When you needed a lineman shoot, you had one. You had footballs. You had practice jerseys. You had
Referees,
certified and
concessions.
pads. You had concessions and referees. You had all at your things. And when you wanted to buy socks and hoodies, you had it at your family's disposal. Why do I owe you anything else? Why do you feel you should have access to the money that they did? Do you ask the trainer that? Hey, Tito, my son trained with you. Open up your books and let me see.
Right, and it be cats training. They really have no qualifications.
Nobody asked that
I
question.
see some of these videos on the grand. Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? You're not asking these questions to other people. So you football programs out there, stop letting people bully you about your books. Stop being a sucker. Stand up to them. Stop letting people tell you you can't be taking money. You can go to McDonald's on your way to your game and eat. You goddamn right. You're hungry. You're working on behalf of that youth program. Write it off. Charge it to the game. The trainer, after he trains and he's driving home an hour, he stop and get McDonald's with the money they gave him. They don't ask him for what he did with that money. They don't ask him, where did you get that car from? No, they go, yo, he's a dope trainer. You see what he got? Yo, he trained a lot of kids. They'll never say, yo, Holmes a dope president. You see how many kids he got in this program? He do his thing, man. Look at the new truck he got. No, they won't do that. Phil pop up with a new truck. They go, he robbing the Hurricane.
Pocket watching.
He robbing the Hurricane.
Pocket watching.
I wonder, is the trainer robbing the training program? Parents, is your trainer robbing your training program? Tell me about that. Is your trainer robbing your training program?
You on fire. You on fire tonight, dog.
That's the question. Listen, it's a regular question.
You on fire tonight.
Is your trainer robbing your training program? Or better yet, how about this? When y'all go to Delaware, to some or Atlanta, or Jersey, or up, don't they go somewhere up? Or I don't know. When y'all go to the All-Star games, is he robbing the All-Star game? Or maybe I'm robbing the All-Star game, Tito. Maybe they'll say next, I'm robbing the All-Star game. That's probably what they're going to say.
Bro.
Last topic of conversation, Tito, before I give my closing. I want everybody out there to listen up. I got an idea about changing the All-Star game, and I want y'all input.
It's an idea.
It's an idea.
We'll put something up there that says idea.
We'll be able to add Springfield into it if we do it like this, too. So, Gene, listen up. Here's an idea. I want everybody to stop. I want y'all all to listen. Gil, you gave me this idea. I ran with it and added some stuff. Listen. So I've been thinking that we may not be playing with the top 50 kids in the state of Connecticut. I'm going to give y'all an example of what I mean. Last year, 203-10, you cut some very talented kids. I think some of those kids would have been able to make the A6010U team, but they weren't on that side. So everybody out there, what if we did this? What if we had, I'm going to take a level, a massive statewide 12U tryout? And both 12U staffs was there with staff recruiters, with prep schools watching. And we ran a combine all day. And both staffs live, after 2 practices, did a live draft. And we drafted the top 50 players in the state of Connecticut. I think that'll do some things. Number one, you may have a kid from Newington, play with a kid from Hartford, play with a kid from Pomperaug, play with a kid from Ansonia. You may break up a West Haven kid that's used to playing with his boy, and now he's playing with a kid from Bloomfield, with a kid from New London, and they're going to that side. What do y'all think about that? Honestly, give it a fair thought. Here's the only pickle, and I'm going to tell you, I think parents that really want the opportunity would understand. Depending on the practice locations, there may be up to an hour drive for the furthest town, but I don't think that that's getting anything out. I think holding a combine, inviting prep schools to see these combines, now kids get more exposure, doing a live draft right here on the podcast, in person, but streaming on the podcast, where you got parents all around the state watching their kid get drafted, where we're playing clips on the podcast of this kid. Part of registration would be you having to give a picture or a clip of your son, just like the NFL draft. And we do this live around the state. Now, it's the same thing. Instead of 203 versus 860, you got Superman versus Batman. Hypothetically, that's not the characters, but let's say Team Superman versus Team Batman. But I think you get truly the top 50 players in the state of Connecticut that way. And I think you'll get a lot of opportunities for kids that didn't get opportunities before to compete. What do y'all think about that? I see fire. Mike Milner said fire. Christian Santos said the combine will be fire. Sydney like it. Gene, you like it? A fantasy draft. Manuel, like it. Every single age group. That's that we gotta discuss.
That gets tricky.
Do that? Will we be able to do every age group if we did combines?
I think maybe.
Is there enough 9-year-olds? How many 9U teams? Hey, somebody tell me something. How many 8U teams were there in AYF in the state of Connecticut?
Bro, we could get those numbers. We're gonna have to put some thought behind that. You ain't gonna get it tonight because we could get those numbers. We just got it.
Right, but I want to know how many 8, 9s, and 10s. That's all. How many?
No, the question would be 11. The question would be 11U and 9U because we do 8, 10, 12, 14. So the question is how many?
Said there was 8 8Us in the state of Connecticut on that side, and Pop Warner in Connecticut. Central had 1, 2.
You ain't gonna be able to do all this right now.
Central has 7. That's 15, and that's not even counting Southern. And never mind, Northern would have 8. We may be able to do every level. Maybe we got to think about that. We got to think about that. We may
now because if you do, you're already doing 4 games. You add 2 games. That means you're gonna have to start games at 9, 11, 1, 3, 5,
9,
7.
11, 1, 3, 5, 7.
That's a long day, bro.
We'll do 7 All-Star weekend. Mike said we could do that. Make it a weekend event.
Yeah,
but I don't think y'all understand how much work go into one day. No, it's one day. It ain't no weekend, bro. I'm not taking it for a weekend. Y'all do not know how much work
like that
go into that. One day is good enough. We're not doing 2 days.
That event is the biggest one the state puts on. Like,
yeah, I can't do 2 days. Yo, listen, after one day, I don't even wake up by 9 a.m. the next day. But I think we can get in doing games an hour and a half. We can get in 7 games in a day. But that's gonna be but then you crunch. It gets tight. It gets tight. It gets real tight. Hour 45-minute games, I think we could do because some games we may have to have a running clock. Tito, if you up by 30, do anybody want to see the rest of the game?
Yeah, that was.
I mean, listen. Let's move on, right? Like if you beating me by 30 is halftime, T. Why are we about to spend?
Well, because it's not fair to the kids that practice the whole 6 weeks or whatever it is.
Tito, you think the kids down by 30 want another
hour?
hour?
I'm just saying. Remember when we came up with that idea? It's never supposed to be nobody down by 30. It's a fucking all-star game.
It keep happening. Like, what are you talking about?
It's not supposed to happen. Don't even get me started, bro. You already know I was on niggas' asses about this, bro. Like, don't get me started.
We're not cursing no more, Tito. We're not cursing.
Yeah, my bad.
Not cursing no more. 860 want 203 kids. Steven Source says. No. 860 want the 203 kids. Steven, this suggestion came from 203 coaches. This is not 860 wanting nobody kids. Who's to say that both staffs can't be from 203? Nobody ever said now the staff's got to be from 860 or 203. We can even jumble that up and get the best coaches at every level, right? So we can even jumble that up into saying.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you when you came up with
this? Changed the format.
What did I tell you when you came up with this idea? The first thing Cash was going to say. What did I
say? This. I said, Tito, they came.
What did I tell you? This is why.
By the way, ask your boy C's West Haven 203. Ask your boy Gil Bridgeport 203. Ask him. Have a coaches draft. No, we can't have coaches fighting on the sideline. When coaches don't get along and y'all start saying crazy stuff on the sideline, it's gonna go haywire. I can't do that. But hey, guys, I want to say, I'm really trying to wrap my head around how to make this combine thing work, where the combine should be. That's going to take a lot of work. I don't think everybody knows how much work this doubles the cost. And listen, the money comes out of the above 140 organization pocket first, in hopes to recoup later. Like, so just be conscious that, hey, do y'all think we should add Springfield in if we do it like that? Should they kids get an opportunity since they play in Connecticut if we're gonna do the combine?
Nah, since A60 need 203, let's just let Springfield join A60. Just let them join A60. I wanted it last year, and that's the general talking. Let them in since they think that we need them. Like, please.
No, don't. Listen, I'm asking everybody: do y'all think Springfield kids should have an opportunity to compete inside?
I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes on the record. Absolutely. They play in the Connecticut League. Why not? Why not?
Look, at this point, they're not really. Look, it's the truth of the matter is they won't all be on the same team, y'all. Y'all recognize that.
If you do it that way,
his son at 14U, Tito, and somebody else could take his quarterback on the other side. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If you do it that way,
the winner plays Springfield. That's ridiculous, Soares. Come on.
I already told
you. Why would the winner, when New Britain plays Springfield, head up? Like, why would we have an All-Star game against Springfield? Nah, man, you killing us, man. Here's the thing, though. We will not be able to do a 13 and a 14U. It's not enough kids at both levels.
It's not, because how many 14s?
We have to stop at 13 or go to 14 and combine it. That we'd have to do one or the other. I think we can work it up to 12. I do not think at the top. So possibly, I'm not saying we're doing this, a 8, a 9, a 10, 11, a 12, and a 14.
So that's 6 games.
So that give us 6 games, and we could do that in a day. 9, 11, 1, 3, 5, 7. The 2-hour gap allows for the excessive celebrations and all of that stuff that we like to keep. It's just a thought, everybody. I don't know what y'all think. Soares, you crazy, man. You out there throwing out wild ideas. Are Rhode Island teams available? No, Rhode Island teams are not available. I know that's messed up because West Elmwood plays in
your conference
as well.
Central.
So
oh yeah, that might open up a whole
No. Here's what's going to be. If we allow Springfield to participate, we'll need a copy of their 2023 rosters, and every kid that registered from Springfield would have to been on one of those rosters, or we wouldn't do it. We're not about to open the floodgates to make it a Mass/Connecticut All-Star game. That's not what we're going to do. It's going to remain a Connecticut All-Star game with that. How does it help A60 Soares when you can pick Gene's son at 14U? How about a New England tournament? John, that's way down the line, brother. You're going to have somebody in Rhode Island doing this at the same time, and we're already playing the middle of July. That game will be the first week in August, I think.
Plus, I mean, I'm not trying to stroke our own ego and stuff, but I've been to many of these, and I've talked to many of these, talked to many people, and everybody says our All-Star game is by far the best one. Why? And this is why I told you from the get-go, just so people know, I questioned him when he came up with this crazy shit 2 days ago. Like, why you messing with something that works? But the entrepreneurial Mr. Above 140 his latest idea.
I think we should keep
Gil, he has brought to you Gil's latest idea.
Yo, is there anybody out there that think we should keep it the same and not do the combine and tryout idea? And when I say combine, I mean Tito's over there with the linemen with some other coaches, and they're all working out linemen as they're being assessed.
Right? They got to be
kind of like your regular tryout. Keep it the same. Shatia, we got one. Problem is, if you pick Springfield kid for 203, is he coming to practice?
Well, that's what we talked about. People have to be willing to make the commitment. People have to be willing to make the commitment to the commitment is going to be there.
Last year format was great. What creates the shortage of 13, 14U players? The fact that Carlton, the fact that there's not enough 14U players only, without adding 13s to fill a team.
Well, because just think about last year. How many total 13s?
I was the only 14.
Right. And how many total 13s was in the
our
state?
side, and then you had 2 on the other side.
Right.
But it was only 3 teams in the state of Connecticut.
Bro, just put in a poll.
We'll put in a poll. We're not gonna get the answers, but it's an idea. It's an idea. I would like everybody to think about that.
Yes, and vote on the poll. We ain't gonna know. You can't get the temperature if you don't vote. Vote on the poll.
The game is going down July 13th. I got game day. July 13th. The game is going down. First game is gonna start at 10 o'clock. I am not starting no game at 9 a.m., bro. I will not be ready. It's a lot that goes into preparing. 9 a.m. is going to be too early. First game, 10 o'clock. July 13th. July 13th at 10 o'clock. Let Rhode Island and Mass do their own tournament at the same time, and the winners do a championship in August.
Yeah, that's too many weeks.
That's too many weeks. August, people going back to their program.
That's what we do. This is a one game.
This is a one day.
It is a one-day scenario.
Steven Storr said the famous Tito line: "If it ain't broke, don't fix it."
I agree. So I don't agree with a lot of shit you say, but I agree with that. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Maybe the best idea at the current time is to keep it the same. I don't know.
Put the poll. I'm interested to see what people say, and I'm also interested to see what people say about. I think we should bring it up again. Should we let Springfield in?
Yeah. Let's ask. Should we let Springfield in? That'll help with the 14U. Definitely.
That could help the numbers on this side. Whatever. We'll figure that out. Like, let's. I know. I know. We've kept it real all night, so. You got to finish this up. I know it's a touchy subject.
All right. Oh, no. I got you. All right. So let me tell something, everybody out there. So we're going to get back real quick to the support black business thing that y'all was talking about, right? And Tito, you said you no longer doing that crap. And so I want to tell everybody out there a little story, right?
Cat Williams said it best, bro. He talked about this in a different context. He talked about this.
He said it.
He exactly what I'm saying.
He said it. Listen, all that support black business stuff with me, I don't want to hear it. I'm supporting those that support me. I supported a black business. Y'all all know Paul Butler, the old Central Connecticut Pop Warner president. Yeah, he robbed me for $25,000. Y'all used to see me and Paul together all the time. I don't rock with Paul. I'm not gonna put no hands on that man. The law got to deal with him. That was supporting black business. If I show y'all pictures of how my house looked after he came and ripped the back of my house off and left and never came back, y'all all know him. Yeah,
and you paid him up front. Let's be clear. You paid him up front.
Cash money. Cash.
Up front.
Cash. Don't talk to me about supporting black business. Don't talk to me about friendships and all that. There's a lot of dudes out here that I just recognize now, no matter how close you think they are, they crabs in the barrel. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't have my stuff together and I wasn't blessed by God, me and my family would be in a tough situation right now. You know what I'm saying? We'd be in a tough situation right now, but we not. And I was supposed to speak to this earlier, and that's why all of this, I understand why people don't want to rock with each other. I understand why people don't want to rock with each other. But there's people like him that do stuff like that. There's people that have got killed for less.
Right. I said it earlier.
People that have gotten touched for less.
We're guilty.
If he tell you it's a lie, inbox me. I'll expose the truth. If you choose to even ask him, I can care less.
It's not. I told you.
The matter is, y'all, I'm not even bitter about it no more.
I told you what it is.
I handled it already. I'm not even bitter, and I honestly believe that the people in his house know about it. I'm gonna let y'all figure out who that is.
Yeah, but I told you what it is. You try. We hold people, and me and you are both guilty of this. We often make the mistake that we think cats is as sturdy as we are. And here's a prime situation of a cat that I met him through you years ago. You know, I'm thinking he 100. You know what I'm saying? I had painted him with the brush of being 100, and to do that slimy worm shit. I told you, there's a bunch of slimy worm cats around us.
Hey, Lo, that's exactly how I feel. I said, you know what? I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna let God deal with that situation. He's a slime ball. He's a
Slimy
slime ball.
worm.
He's nothing more than a slime ball. But it's all good. I was real. I visited that man in the hospital when he
In
was
his
sick.
health, in bad times.
Asked him if he needed it. Fool drove an hour out to Bridgeport to visit that man in the hospital because I thought something was gonna happen to him. Like when I'm real, I'm real. So because that relationship was there, I thought it was official. And you robbed my family. And then we say support black business. Nah, it's not about black and white, dog. Don't. If I ever use that slogan, I was wrong. I'll eat those words now.
I'm done. I'm not even talking about it no more. I wish everybody the best of luck. Like straight up. That's why I stand with everybody. I wish you all health and prosperity. Just leave me the fuck alone.
With that being said, y'all, just remember this. A smart person can play dumb, but a dumb person can't play smart above 140.
Word. Peace. Coach Career the General.